What's up? It's Fur Trade. ASMR. Tonight, we're going to be reading The Power of Now. For those of you who are looking to get to the reading part right away, I can maybe leave a timestamp, but I'm going to open with just a short little intro, maybe a minute or so, and then I'm going to get into sort of a preface of the book, summarized by myself, and then we'll jump right into the meat of it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's actually it's pretty much bedtime for me in like 2 hours or something like that. But you know me, I go to bed pretty early for work, so not that late on normal people time. I got a tea here with me. It's one of those sleepy teas. I think that just means it has like chamomile and maybe, I don't know, jasmine, something like that. I actually don't know. Is there jasmine in tea? But probably lemon. I don't know. But yeah. So you might hear me yawn a little bit, because yeah, I mean I yawn a lot normally during normal videos, but since it's pretty much my bedtime, you might hear a bit more yawning. Anyway, let's jump into the book. So what I did, contrary to the A New Earth, which I have a little series on, you might have heard me rave about The Power of Now, which is what we're going to be reading. I don't know, I forget if I mentioned that, but you should have seen it in the title. The Power of Now, I read it 2 times so far. It's a lot easier to digest than The New Earth, but it touches on the same concepts. I took the liberty of highlighting passages in The Power of Now that really made me contemplate and think, or that I found particularly interesting. It may get off to maybe a bit of a rougher start because the way in which I was highlighting at the beginning sort of changed over time further into the book. So I didn't really highlight an intro. So I'm going to be explaining sort of the quotes, and again, it's been maybe a good half a year since I dove into this, so it's always good to have a refresher. And I would like to say as well that I'm not an expert on this at all. This is a spiritual book, and I'm very much, I would say, in the middle of my sort of spiritual journey and middle of the road spiritual knowledge. I'm still just a normal dude, and I have bad days, and I forget this stuff all the time, but the important thing is that you remember it afterwards and you're sort of drawn back to the thought. So that's the important part, that it becomes a sort of a reflex to remind yourself of this stuff. Tea actually is pretty nice. Good flavor. So, the book is called The Power of Now, a Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment by Eckhart Tolle. It's actually one of the best sellers bestsellers. You are here to enable the divine purpose of the universe to unfold. That is how important you are. Just a quote by Eckhart. So let me see if I can find a good spot to start. There was a long preface and introduction here, and I don't think I highlighted anything from among that. This book actually came out a while ago. I'm not sure what year, but I know he wrote a new preface in 2004, which means it came out before 2004. Maybe 2001, maybe 2002, maybe 1998. All right, we'll stop guessing. So the thing about Eckhart Tolle is he was sort of just a normal dude, and eventually he just sort of, I don't know, he came upon a realization that he wasn't his thoughts. He sort of made some separation between who he is and the thoughts in his mind. And I think I'm still in the introduction. So this book is done a lot in sort of kind of like an interview style. Someone posing a question, then him giving the answer. Alright, here we are. So let's get into it. I've got my first highlighted section right now. Let's see. So the philosopher Descartes believed that he had found the most fundamental truth when he made his famous statement, "I think, therefore I am." He had in fact given expression to the most basic error, to equate thinking with being and identify with thinking. So I'm sure we've all heard that expression, "I think, therefore I am." And I guess that's the sort of question you think, like, how do you know you're alive? Oh, because I think there, that means I'm alive, therefore I am. But I guess in a biological sense, that's not true. You can be alive, but in a vegetative state, right? But I think why I found this interesting is because he straight up says that it's just it was sort of an error in the way he phrased this, because thinking is not being, right? Just because, like, thinking, I don't know. Like I said, guys, it's been a while. I'm trying to explain this. Let me just read it again here. "I think, therefore I am," Descartes said. He had given expression to the most basic error, to equate thinking with being and identify with thinking. So yeah, he identified with his thinking. But that little thing inside of you, that's like your consciousness, you being alive, your spirit, your soul, that thing deep inside of you that's more than just the beating of your heart. It's not the thoughts you think in your head, right? There's something deeper, more real than that. It's not that voice inside your head that says, I work tomorrow, or did I put the timer on for my alarm? Like that's not that essence. That's you, right? That's just that program inside your mind. So the fact that that program is going inside your mind, that doesn't mean you are. Like when you're sleeping and you're dreaming, right? That program, that thinking, it's sort of like in a sleep state. But like you're still there, right? You're still alive. And when you wake up, right, it's not like you're completely like sleeping. There's like sleeping obviously doesn't mean you're dead, but when you're dead, I mean I haven't died, right? But when you're dead, you don't sort of like you're not gonna wake up from it. But when you're sleeping, you wake up and you can still remember sometimes like your dreams and like the things from your sleep, right? Like there was something sort of inside you that was still present even when you're in that state. Anyway, we'll continue to our next quote here as I resituate myself in the chair. Like I said, it was a little bit rougher, my highlights at the beginning, but it was, I got a lot better at doing them and encompassing the whole idea later on in the book. So here I highlighted the illusion that there is you and a totally separate other. You forget the essential fact that underneath the level of physical appearances and separate forms, you are one with all that is. Let me sort of read it, skip a bit before what I highlighted. Identification with your mind creates an opaque screen of concepts, labels, images, words, judgments, and definitions that block all true relationship. It becomes between you and yourself, between you and your fellow man and woman, between you and nature, between you and God. It is a screen of thought that creates the illusion of separateness, the illusion that there is you and a totally separate other. You then forget the essential fact that underneath the level of physical appearances and separate forms, you are one with all that is. So this sort of dives pretty deep here. I don't think I'll get into this one super because there's a lot more easily digestible, but what this is suggesting that we're all sort of connected. We all come from the same place, whether you believe that to be God created man, whether you believe that I don't know, the Big Bang and we have evolved to become humankind, whether you believe that there's like a source of all and we come, it's saying we come from all the same place, and seeing as we come from the same place, we are all connected. But when our spirit inhabits our body, sometimes we build up like, what did it say, images, labels. I come from this country, I'm this race. Judgments come through like, oh, I'm a higher class than this person, I'm more educated than them, and all those things create separation. Race creates separation. There's nothing wrong with race, as there's nothing wrong with gender, as there's nothing wrong with, certain labels, not to be mistaken with labeling the sort of a gray zone, but all of those, it's not bad as long as we don't let it get in the way of us understanding and knowing that at the end of the day, or at the end of all, we are all connected. So that's what it's getting at here. Let's see here. The next highlighted section. The beginning of freedom is the realization that you are not the possessing entity, the thinker. Knowing this enables you to observe the entity. The moment you start watching the thinker, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. Take a sip here. That's a good one. We got a good one here. So this one I think is a very good one. So it's they're saying when we have the realization that we are not the possessing entity, the thinker. When we know this, we get to observe it. So it uses interesting language here: entity, possessing, and the thinker. So a lot of times we identify with our thoughts, and we think that's what we are, right? Like, I'm a smart guy. Like, I always think carefully about things before I take decisions, or I calculate my risks. That's who I am. So, how can I say this? So, the moment you start watching the thinker, so it's saying that voice, or it doesn't even have to be a voice, the thoughts in your head. Just, let's try a little exercise here. We're going to observe the thinker. We're going to watch the thinker. And just, for those of you who are not on board, and if you're just lying in your bed listening to this now, humor me for a second, okay? So I want you to just lie still, close your eyes, and I want you to try to not think anything. So try not to think, like, but not even try. Just sit in silence and try to, like, watch for a thought to appear, right? So, like, close your eyes and just, as soon as you spy a thought, as soon as you think a thought, watch that thought. So I'm gonna do one. I'll talk through one with you guys, and then we'll do it again. So you can, if you want, you can sit out this first one. So I'm closing my eyes, and I'm just gonna wait until I think a thought. So I thought, because I have a candle here, so I'm thinking the candlelight's flashing. I'm still here. Just watching. See, my thought said, I hope the people listening to my podcast aren't bored, and and then it said, hurry up, think a thought. Didn't say it, but that's what, so my mind said, right? So, but the thing is, if you can watch that, and you say, wait a second, and then, oh, here's another trick, so we're gonna do it again. Try to stop yourself. Tell yourself that no more thoughts. And this is how you know that you are not in control of the thoughts that appear in your head. Because if you were in control, you could stop them, right? Alright, so let's try it again. We're going to close our eyes and go. Hold. If you think a thought, just watch it and then clear it and try again. You see, sometimes thoughts are louder than others. I've done a bit of meditation, so some of you might be instantly you close your eyes like, this is lame, this video sucks, or I just want to fall asleep, like, I gotta go to school tomorrow, I just want to fall asleep, or I don't feel like doing this exercise. Other people's minds might be quieter. A quiet mind is good. So let's continue here for a second. So it says, so if we think, so it says, we are not, oh, okay, let me rewind a bit here. It says here, the mind is using you. You are unconsciously identified with it. So you don't even know that you are its slave. It's almost as if you were possessed without knowing it. And so you take the possessing entity to be yourself. This makes me think of, I don't know if I highlighted this later, but it sort of says that the mind was a necessary tool for humankind because it allowed the evolution of our species. If we were all walking around, sort of, I don't know, picture some hippie guy who's just carefree, just like like talking with people, hello, maybe he's smoking on a pipe. He might just get killed by a tiger or something, or a competing tribe or something. Might just, stab him. I don't know. But that's why the mind was so necessary, is because we were in danger a lot of the times. We had to constantly worry about things like that. But now, as we're more evolved and we live in a much sort of, and I know I can't speak for everyone, but in general, we live in a much safer society that constantly, rolling mind becomes less necessary. And anyway, let's get back to what was highlighted. See, my mind's telling me right now, it's saying, Ryan, you're telling them too much what you think. They're here for the book, not for your thoughts. So that's what, see, my mind is telling myself that. And, I mean, yeah, I was listening to them when I was like, okay, let's get on with it. Because I was like, yeah, they're here for the book. But if I take a step back and I'm like, wait a second, I don't know if that's true or not. That's my mind telling me it's true. And I just like that, I listened to it. I didn't question it. I was like, yeah, let's get on with this. But if I take a step back and I'm like, huh? And I just watched that thought. Okay, that came in my head. But I can just say no thank you to it. If you can find a thought and catch it like that, it's really liberating. Because the feeling that I have now is sort of like, I feel like I had a little victory. I don't know, it's weird. It's kind of like, it's freeing in a way. An example that I like to use a lot is when you see someone walking down the street, like let's say, I don't know, you're at a restaurant or you're in the park or you're sitting at home and you see some guy like walk by on the sidewalk or drive by in a car, and you know, maybe his music's loud, maybe he's dressed a little funny, you know, maybe he's laughing obnoxiously, and you're like, what an idiot, or what a dick, you know, guy driving loud, by in his car. You pause and you're like, wow, am I kind of a mean person? Like, I don't even know this guy, and here I'm calling him an idiot or a loser. Like, I'm kind of a mean person. But hold on just a second. Ask yourself, do you really think this guy's a loser? Do you really think that guy's a dick? You don't know the guy, do you? I'm sure if you met him in real life and he's like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm sure you wouldn't think that. But that's just the thing. You wouldn't think that. That thought is just appearing in your head. It doesn't mean it's true just because it's there. You know, do you actually think that this guy's just having fun? He's laughing with his friend. He's on the skateboard. He's laughing, that guy in his car. You know, he loves that song, man. He loves to cruise with his music loud. You know, he just focuses on the beat. Like, I don't know, he's having a good time, man. Why does that make him a dick? Why does that make that guy being, you know, loud, laughing with his friend, like a weirdo or a loser? He can do that, right? But that's the thing. You didn't think that. Or that's not you. Your mind thought that. But if you can just tell yourself, like, no, he's not a loser. Like, okay, my mind thought that. But no, I disagree with that. You're not a bad person, right? It's kind of like, this is a good metaphor that I heard, and let's hope I do it justice. They said the mind is kind of like a dog or a disobedient dog. You know, we're responsible for that dog. It's your dog. We're responsible for it. So the dog can be nice, the dog can be mean. But if that dog goes and barks at someone or shits on their lawn, that's not us barking at that person. That's not us shitting on their lawn. But we are responsible for that dog. We are responsible for it, so we can say, whoa, hey, ease up when the the dog's barking, ease up to our mind when our mind's being like, look at this idiot, whoa, 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 ease up. Even if, we got like identified with the mind. It's almost like us identifying with the dog. The dog barks at someone and we're like, hey, fuck you, buddy, because the dog's barking at them, right? Think of that in the terms of your mind. Your mind's like, look at this idiot, and we're like, move it, asshole. But we can catch ourselves, even if we say it verbally, catch yourself and take responsibility. Be like, sorry, man. I don't know you. I got frustrated for some reason. I'm sorry, man. Same thing, if your dog shits, take responsibility. Pick up the shit. Clean up the trouble it causes. If your mind is out there wreaking havoc, it's your responsibility to be responsible for your mind. Be responsible for your dog. So I thought that was a good metaphor. Hopefully I was more or less clear on this. So it's kind of like yeah. So we'll continue with the highlighted. I have a lot highlighted, and I want to dive into it. All right. So the next one. All right. When you listen to that voice, aka the mind, listen to it impartially. That is to say, do not judge. Do not judge or condemn what you hear, for doing so would mean that the same voice has come in again through the back door. You will soon realize there is the voice, and there is the voice, and here I am listening to it, watching it. This is the I am realization. So that's a good one. Hold on, I want to find a paperweight here. Just to weight this down. Let's move my mouse. Alright. So when you're listening, doing that exercise where you just sort of chill and wait for a thought to come in. Maybe the thought's like, set your alarm. Don't judge it. Impartial, be like, okay, yeah, it's not a bad idea, sure. Then the voice is like, like I hate work's coming tomorrow. I hate work. Watch it and be like, okay, that's weird. My mind hates work, but does it mean I hate work? And then here it says, if you judge it and you be like what a dumb thought. You're just like, but wait, is that you saying it's a dumb thought, or is that voice again? Because there's that voice, then there's that focus, that intense focus that you're putting there. That focus that's just watching that voice, that's just looking at it. That is the I am. You are listening to that voice. You are watching that voice. There's the voice. And then there's your focus. Two different things. Separate. Without those thoughts, you're still there. If you weren't there, who could be aware of those thoughts? If you weren't there, if there was no I am, who's paying attention to those thoughts? Right? There's another sort of exercise or something that this reminds me of is, you think you're the body, right? Because, you think you know how to, you can run, you can are you actually doing that? Are you telling your heart to pump and your lungs to suck in? Are you telling every little joint to move? Like when you go shake someone's hand, are you okay, arm out, fingers open, move the thumb down, grasp the hand, not too tight, up, and it's what you want to do, but you're not specifically controlling every one of those actions. You can kind of think of it as the spirit. I like to use spirit or essence. We're sort of piloting this vehicle that is the body. But we are more than the body, right? We are more than just, skin and bones and the movements, right? There's something deeper than that. There's something which is the essence, the spirit. So let's read it again. Do not judge or condemn what you hear when you're listening, because it means that the same voice has come in again through the back door. You'll soon realize there is the voice, and here I am listening to the voice, watching it. This is the I am realizing. So this sense of your own presence is not a thought. It is not a thought. So it's not going to be a thought that comes out. It arises from beyond the mind. And if I'm going to be honest, which I will be honest, it's not something that you just, or at least for me personally, I don't feel that all the time, right? I don't have that all the time, that feeling, that sense beyond the mind. Occasionally, if I try, I can get that feeling, I can think of it, but you can't expect just by trying for a few minutes, that you're gonna just be radiating that. Maybe some people will get it more than others, and that's okay, that's okay. Good tea. Alright. Let's find another highlighted section. There's a lot of good stuff in this book, but I'm going to stick with what I highlighted and trust my own comprehension. So, you guys must know what the ego is, right? The ego is considered the sense of self. I'm sure we've all heard, oh, he has a really big ego. But everyone has somewhat of an ego. The ego is essentially what your mind is trying to protect. I could be wrong here, but it's like that. It's your name, it's your status, it's what you're known for. It's kind of what your mind wants to preserve, your social status and the way others view you. Your mind is concerned about, or your ego is concerned about protecting itself. So let me read this. Even when the ego seems to be concerned with the present, it is not the present that it sees. It misperceives it completely because it only looks at it through the eyes of the past, or it uses the present as a means to an end that always lies in the mind-projected future. Observe your mind, and you'll see that this is how it works. Let's go a bit before that quote here. So. Alright. To the ego, the present moment hardly exists. Only the past and future are considered important. Now, I should have actually highlighted that. That's a good one. So the present moment hardly exists. Only the past and future are considered important to the ego. This total reversal of the truth accounts for the fact that in the ego mode of the mind, the mind is so dysfunctional. It is always concerned with keeping the past alive. Because without the past, who are you? It constantly projects itself into the future to ensure its continued survival and to seek some kind of release or fulfillment there. It says, one day, when this or that or the other happens, I'm going to be happy, at peace. Even when the ego seems to be concerned with the present, it is not the present that it sees. It misperceives it completely because it looks at it through the eyes of the past. So, the whole definition of ego aside, I think you can understand just with like ego and your thoughts. Let's go back to here, step by step, bite size, right? Bite size. It projects itself into the future to ensure its continued survival. So, let's say there's a party. You want to go to the party because that means you like social connection, right? Excuse me. Social status. You want to make a good impression, so you're planning what clothes that would look the coolest, what looks best on you. You're thinking who else is gonna be there, and so it's not thinking about right now. It's thinking like you're thinking, oh, I'm just deciding if I want to go to the party, but it's your mind, your ego is thinking beyond that. And then the other good thing that I read here, interesting thing is, let's see. Okay, so it misperceives the present because it looks at it through the eyes of the past. So, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree on this, is the past influences how we see the present. So if there was, I don't know, a type of person, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to not use a bad example here, but screw it. Well, let's say a guy who rides a motorbike, sort of a biker, leather jacket. Let's say in the past, we met one who was a real mean guy, and, let's say, I don't know, we almost got in a fight with him or whatever. We experienced that. That's in the past. Now in the present, we see a guy in a motorbike ride up with like a different leather jacket. It's not the same guy whatsoever. Different motorcycle. We're gonna, our mind is gonna sort of relate that information, right? It knows what happened to us in the past, so to keep us safe, it's going to be like, we got to be careful of this guy in the motorcycle because chances are he's a mean dude. And so it's going to put a label on that right away. So in the present, when he's there, we're not seeing it for just, cool, a guy in the motorcycle showed up. That's a nice bike. I wonder what, interesting stories he has. Where is he from? Like how long has he been riding? No. We're not gonna think of it as, let's say we woke up from, amnesia, right? It's like the equivalent of a baby, right? But we'd have a fully functioning mind. So we're looking at it through, the eyes of a baby. But with our mind, we're just like, oh, cool, a motorcycle. That's interesting. Maybe we're interested by it. Maybe we're not. See, that's just a blank slate, right? But based on all we've experienced in the past and the fact that we grab onto the past and we bring it into ourselves and we make that past a part of who we are or who we think we are, that affects sort of the lens how we view this person on a motorcycle. Whereas you take someone else who's had a different past, they're going to view it differently. So again, there are the mind is a tool, right? So there's some good things like we don't need to necessarily touch a stove or a fire to know it's hot, right? But then there's times where it's not serving us, and sometimes these fears are real, but that's a topic for another time, right? But fire being hot and us not touching it is very different than all people on bikes we should be very careful of. Maybe in some places it could be true. But, this is just a specific example. I'm sure you guys can take this and broaden it out. I'll think of another one. But you see, in that case, it's not serving us. Our mind will be saying, be careful. But if we can sort of make that distance and observe the thought and be like, let our heart rate sort of go down, because maybe that's like a reaction we're having. Our heart starts beating and we're thinking, I don't know this guy. I don't know him at all. He's just a dude on a motorcycle. We can relax. We're not in danger. We don't have to go say hi to him, but we could if we wanted. So another example would be, let's say you had a bad breakup with a girl, or we can actually reverse it. I'll swap it. Let's say you had a bad breakup with a guy who likes like a sports dude. He was a jerk. He cheated on you. He was like a jock. He had one of those Letterman jackets. A big shit-eating grin. Cheated on you. And then from now, you see jocks and you're just like, oh, look at all these, they're cheaters. They're probably, going after all the cheerleaders. And, a cute jock one day sort of smiles at you. It's like, hey, how's it going? You instantly use what you've learned from the past, or of what you've experienced from the past, and you say, this is a bad dude. He's just gonna cheat on me. And you're just like, roll your eyes at him, and you're like, not interested. Loser. You don't even have to say loser, but for the sake of the story, not interested. Loser. Roll your eyes. You don't know the guy. You don't know him at all. But based on your past, that's how you're seeing the present. And now, I do this all the time. We all do. What's important is if we can try to catch it, stop it, indulge those thoughts, just watch those thoughts, or at least not let it affect our present, So that's just a couple examples. The way that the ego, as it says here, it is never concerned with the present, aka the now. If you guys haven't guessed, that's what the book's talking about. The now. It's always looking towards the future. What can you do now to get to the future? Or what to do now looks at the now based on the past. Alright. So let's see what else I have here. So, enlightenment means rising above the thought, not falling back to a level below the thought, the level of an animal or a plant. In the enlightened state, you still use your thinking mind when needed, but in a much more focused and effective way than before. You use it mostly for practical purposes, but you are free of the involuntary internal dialogue, and there is inner stillness. So an animal, right? That's mostly all what they are. They're based on like the past and instinct, right? Like a cat. You're nice to it, you pet it, you give it little scritches. It knows that, so in the future, it likes you because it knows it gets that. But let's say a wild cat, people are like running after it and trying to capture it, trying to grab it. Then in the future, it's gonna instinctively run from people, right? There's the whole thing about, I'm sure you guys might have heard this about like training animals to like, when a bell is rung, like you ring the bell and the animal knows food is coming, because it associates the bell ringing with the food being dropped, kind of thing. And then like if you do that so often, I think there was a study done with like a dog. Eventually you could ring the bell and the dog would salivate just based off of the sound of the bell without any food, because it made such an association based on the past. So yeah. So that being said, we aren't animals, right? We're humans. We have like this crazy, amazing tool that's a brain, that allows us to be so much more to it. So when we're not just reacting to our thoughts, that's when we can rise above. And as it said, when you're enlightened, we still use the mind, right? But you're not like, you're free of that involuntary internal dialogue. So like, let's say you're trying to figure out how to, directions to somewhere. That's what the mind's for, the brain's for. I guess the brain is the organ, right? But the mind is the things that happen inside it. So that's what the mind's for. The mind will, figure out however you figure it out, the directions to that place based on, your past and the different roads. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But the thing that's the problem is when the mind says I need to get there now, there's always freaking traffic on that road, that internal dialogue that's telling you to go, hurry up, or oh, idiot, or this guy just cut you up. The mind's a tool. tool is to go from A to B, you can cut out all that internal dialogue and still get from A to B, and you'd be a lot happier because of that, right? You'd be a lot freer to do, to be more focused on the moment. And so yeah, you can still learn lessons. You get traffic, you log that in your mind. You say, okay, around this time there's traffic, so I should avoid that. But like, you just ignore the other thoughts of the mind saying, yeah, told you so, you shouldn't have gone there, told you so. Let's see here. When you do use your mind, and particularly when a creative solution is needed, you oscillate every few minutes or so between thought and stillness, between mind and no mind. No mind is consciousness without thought. Only in that way is it possible to think creatively. Because only in that way does thought have any real power. Thought alone, when it is no longer connected with the much vaster realm of consciousness, quickly becomes barren, insane, destructive. I didn't actually have that part highlighted. I just wanted to get a full picture here. But, so see, I'm still working on that, but, I guess what it's saying is, have you guys ever heard of, being in the zone, particularly, let's say you're playing a sport, or you're playing a video game, or you're reading a book, and you're like painting that image in your mind, right? You're so focused in the zone. Your mind is focused on that basketball game. You feel the ball. You're seeing the people moving. You're like predicting their movements. You're dribbling. You're moving. You're jumping. Pass it under. The shot at the right pressure, the right distance. Swished it. You're in the video game. You're moving your joysticks. You hear the footsteps. You pull the pin on the grenade, hold it 2 seconds, back step, throw it at an angle, bounce it off the wall, switch to like your knife, move up, slash, pistol, 2 quick ones, or you're reading a book, the words are going off the page into your mind, like let's see, it's describing like the vast castle, and it's saying like the character, Link moved into Castle Hyrule in the evening. The drawbridge just finished closing, and the streets were barren. You're picturing, the character Link walking. You're picturing this gloomy, your thoughts aren't present there. There's just pure consciousness, right? That feeling that I'm here, I'm doing this. I could be wrong with the book example, because you kind of are in your mind, I guess. You're not really in the now. You're focused elsewhere. But I don't know, being in the zone, you don't have that blah 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 in your mind, right? You don't have that, like, alright, defense, wait for the ball. Okay, when's he gonna pass it? Crap. Okay, move. Focus up, wait for the pass. You don't have that. You're there, you're reacting. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, that's what I picture what it says what I was explaining about oscillating between thought and stillness. To be like, all right. Oh, we're getting into some good stuff. Let's have another drink. All right. If you really want to know your mind, the body will always give you a truthful reflection. So look at the emotion, or rather feel it in your body. If there's an apparent conflict between them, the thought will be the lie, the emotion will be the truth. Not the ultimate truth of who you are, but the relative truth of your state of mind at that time. So, let me just read one little thing here. You say that an emotion is the mind's reflection of the body, but sometimes there is a conflict between the two. The mind says no, while the emotion says yes, or the other way around. So that was the question before what I read, so let me read it again. So in response to that, if you really want to know your mind, the body will give you a truthful reflection. So look at the emotion, or rather feel it in your body. If there is an apparent conflict between them, the thought will be the lie, the emotion will be the truth, not the ultimate truth of who you are, but the relative truth, based on your state of mind. I won't lie, this is one that I've been trying to master and work on a lot, and in a lot of cases, I gotta say it's really worked out. Gonna give you a specific example, I hope. But the number of times that it happens, So anyway, let me try to break down an example for you here. And I'm just shooting like that. So let's think of a time when you would feel an emotion. So this has to be a conflict. Let's say, I got the perfect one. Let's say your friend invites you, and this has happened to me recently, and I forgot about this, I didn't use this. Your friend invites you to a baby shower. He's your friend. You like him, but you don't really feel like going to the baby shower. But my mind is saying, that's your friend. You have to support him. If you don't, well then you're sort of a bad friend, and you'll have to make it up to him another time. Also, last time he asked you to hang out, you didn't. So you probably should go to this right now. That's what my mind is saying. My mind is saying yes. My emotions are saying, I'm sort of uncomfortable with these. Well, I guess, I don't know. I don't feel like going to this gathering. There's going to be one guy, maybe max 2 people I know, my friend and his brother. I don't really know his girlfriend. I don't really hang out with any of the friends. The trip is gonna take effort on my part. It's over 2 hours away. It's celebrating a thing that I don't really care about. It's not a bachelor party. It's a baby shower. Some people love that stuff, but personally, I don't know. I don't find it anything that crazy crazy. I don't know. It's a baby shower. It's nice. People can do it, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know. I didn't really feel the need to celebrate it personally. So that's my emotion saying, like, no, like, I still like the guy, right? Just because I don't want to go doesn't automatically mean that I don't like the guy. But that was that dilemma you have, and I'm sure we can all relate. My mind's saying, you gotta go, man. Come on, it's not gonna be that bad. You owe it to him. But my emotion saying is, man, it's just not worth it. Like, we don't feel like going. Why So what this is saying is, follow that emotion, and you will be much happier. No, and note that it says this is relative to the state of your mind at the time. So that's the state of mind that I'm in right now. I will say I'm a little bit more introverted these days, but that's the state of my mind, and that's my truth right now. Let's say fast forward 5 years down the line, maybe I'm in a different state of mind, and my emotions will be like, hell yeah, like meeting some new people, like I get to hang out with my friend, like I'm down, like let's go. That's fine. But the emotion is, where does it say? It's the truthful reflection. So if you ever have a conflict, let's see if I can find another example for you guys. So another example would be, let's say you're dating a girl. It's your third date, and you maybe haven't kissed her yet, and your mind is telling you, you gotta kiss her, bro. You gotta kiss her, bro. Like, or else, she's gonna think you're not interested, and your emotions being like, man, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm not ready for it, right? I'm not ready. In that case, it would be the emotion that you should listen to, and the magic thing is, and this might blow your mind, you can communicate that to her if you want, because like I said, it's based on the state of your mind, right? So maybe you want to give her a genuine reflection of your emotions. You don't want to make it fake by kissing her when you, like, I know you don't feel that connection yet, so you want to give her a truthful connection. But maybe if it was the reverse, you want to, so reverse would be like, your mind saying like no, like, well, the reverse would be like, no, you shouldn't, like, you shouldn't kiss her, she's not worth it, like, what will your friends will think? They'll like, she's not popular, but your emotion's saying, I don't know, like, we're clicking so well right now, like, we're getting along super well, like, I don't know, I feel like going for it, like, but I told myself, like, I would wait, like, you should follow your emotion. Because it's based on your state of mind anyway. And the thing I said before about the magic thing is you can communicate this. It's a little bit off topic, so I'll just do it quick. But what I meant by that is, if you are in that sort of situation, or even the situation that I described, and maybe I should take a page out of my own book here, is communicate that. If you don't want to go to that bachelor party, and that's what your emotion says, say like, look man, I really appreciate you, and sorry, not bachelor party, baby shower. I'd be down for the bachelor party. Look man, I really appreciate you. And look, I'm sorry, I'm not good at saying this stuff, so I apologize if I'm coming off stupid or whatever, but, I like you, but I'm just not down for this baby shower. Like, I don't know, it makes me sort of uncomfortable, and, I just really don't feel like making the 2-hour drive over there. I'm sorry, I hope you don't get angry or hurt, but I just want to be honest with you. And I think my friend would appreciate that. I should actually probably do that. See, like I said, brushing up on this stuff is good. And in the other situation with the kiss, you can use straight up honesty as well and be like, look, I really like you, and my friends are all saying like, oh, you gotta kiss her by the 3rd date so she knows you're interested, but I don't know, I'm just not ready yet. Like, and it's I really like you, I want it to mean something, So yeah, that's what I'm saying about just talk, communicate it, even if it's awkward. That's a really good tool, one that I think I will use. But at the same time, I don't know. See, I'm still on the fence about my baby shower thing, because my mind's still telling me, and like I said, I'm not perfect. I recognize this, but my mind's saying it's not going to be that bad. And you're right. I'm not going to die by going. Anyway, we're going to skip ahead. Let's not dwell on that. Let's get a little bit more here. But yeah, this is why I like this stuff. There's so many little stuff you pick up on, you forget, and I feel like it all intertwines. So then it poses the question, so observing our emotions is as important as observing our thoughts. And it says, yes, make it a habit to ask yourself, what's going on inside me at this moment? Don't analyze, just watch. Focus your attention within. Feel the energy of the emotion. If there is no emotion present, take your attention more deeply into the inner energy field inside your body. It is the doorway into being. So, obviously you can't always do this like on the spot, right? Like if you're talking to someone, but let's say you're caught up in your thoughts and you're stressed out about something. That's some good tea, man. So let's say, so I work tomorrow and I don't feel like I don't want to go to work. Like, I kind of want to stay up, play some video games. Let's sort of observe this emotion. Now, honestly, I think I'm neutral on it, but actually, yeah, let's pick a real example, because I want to actually do this with you guys. So let's. Sorry, I rubbed the mic a bit there. I don't know if that picked up. Probably did pick up. I saw a spot on it, and I instinctively went to wipe the little spot off. Alright, alright, I got one. So I have a work party coming up on this Friday, and I decided to go. I'm not sure why I decided to go, but I think I'm gonna go. Kind of like a challenge to myself. So let's sort of, and I think I feel a bit nervous just because, like, there's gonna be more people I don't know than people I know, and I don't know. So let's just watch that emotion. So pick a situation. Even if you have nothing, just try to close your eyes and just like look as if you're looking deep inside yourself and look for like a feeling. Like, and what to say? Don't analyze, just watch. So don't try to analyze and think while you just look for something. We're looking for something. See, look deeper, as if you're gazing deeper. The way I sort of picture it, and we're all different, is I sort of like look, pretend there's a point in the middle of my body that my focus is going on, sort of like in my sternum. You could also use like around your third eye, and then if that's not deep enough, look, sort of zoom even more in on that point. So let's zoom in. Zoom in. And just watch. Just watch. I think it's easier, like I was having a bit of trouble there. It's easier if you have like a powerful emotion. I think it's actually more effective when you have a powerful emotion. Like let's say if you're angry about something, oh, you know what? I got it. Forget everything you know. Just kidding. But I got a real good one for you guys. Let's say you're texting with a crush or someone you like, right? And you're expecting an answer. Now, you can think of like two different scenarios. Either you're like, I'm really, like, can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's say she responds with, cool, with a period. Now, my instinct is to be like, what the hell? I expressed my emotion of my feelings, how I was really looking to hang out with her. See, I was expecting, and this is going to another level, I was expecting a certain response back. But my expectations weren't met. So now that cool is either going to trigger insecurity in myself, or depending on where I am, perhaps anger, that I'm putting out all this effort. And let's say I set up something like a nice dinner and I was planning it all out. Maybe I have anger coming in, like I did all this and the best she can say is cool. At that point, when you have that emotion inside of you, that's when you close your eyes and just watch the emotion. Don't analyze it. Don't say like, why am I mad or should I be mad? Just watch it. Just watch that emotion. Excuse me. And the thing is, I think, and feel the energy of that emotion. Like watch it and feel like the heat of the anger. Just feel the heat of the anger, or like the crushingness, the squeezing of the insecurity, the disappointment, the sadness. Just feel it. Watch it. And then the fact that you're watching it, you can see that you are beyond that. You are not, that's just a feeling inside of your body. You are not that feeling. You are something else. Right? It's sort of like my dog analogy. You are not that dog barking at someone, chasing after someone, or being scared of, lightning. That's not who you are, right? You can observe it, but you don't have to, be the same. Let's say, I don't know if this is a good example, but I'll say it because we're saying it all. Let's say you're with your dog at night, and your dog is like scared of something. You might get spooked too, but I feel like this is a bad example because usually dogs they have good sense about this thing. So let's stick with the thunder, right? Let's not poop on this example too much. Keep in mind it's a metaphor, right? Where I'm just trying to, you know what a metaphor is. You're trying to present something else to perhaps make it easier to understand. So yeah, you hear some thunder and the dog's scared. You don't have to be that emotion, right? You're separate from it. You can still learn from that emotion, right? You can still react and adjust yourself accordingly. But it is not you. It is not who you are. And not to get too much into this, that example about the text, what we're basing some of our emotions off of is our past, right? Our state of mind. So we don't actually know what she's thinking or feeling based on that one word, cool. Maybe she, we have no idea what's going on. Maybe she is trying to play it cool. She doesn't want to look too desperate or too excited. Maybe her friend walked in and she wanted to reply to you, but was a bit shy that her friend might see what she wrote, so she wrote something quick and then closed it, and then she was too sort of embarrassed to write something else afterwards, right? So, yeah. But that's neither here nor there. We're speaking more about observing the emotion, so that's just an exercise you can do. And like I said, I'm still sort of learning from this as well. Like, I'm not a master, so like, how does that relate? So the emotion is anger. The thoughts say, oh, she doesn't like you or whatever. Like she's being really rude right now. The thoughts say that, and your emotion is anger. So, according to what it said before, and I'm just speaking through this with you guys, the body will give you a truthful reflection. Oh, that's if there's a conflict. So in that case, there isn't a conflict. You're perceiving the same thing. Okay. So I guess it's in case of a conflict, it'll point you in the right direction. But based on your state of mind, you could still react in certain ways. But our goal is to go beyond that, right? Okay. I think I'm getting it. Our first yawn. Actually, that's pretty good. Alright. Let's do just a few more. I don't know, I have a lot of fun doing this. I always put off doing this ASMR, but I have a lot of fun relearning, reminding myself of this. We got some more highlighted here. Oh, this is a good one. The Buddha says that pain or suffering arises through desire or craving, and that to be free of pain, we need to cut the bonds of desire. All cravings are the mind seeking salvation or fulfillment in external things and in the future as a substitute for the joy of being. So, so what's the saying is, the joy of being is just like right now, being alive, feeling the cool floor under your feet, the warmth coming off the candle, the subtle sense of maybe a hand cream that you're wearing, the tones in the background, feeling the breath in your body. That's being alive. But see, like right now, maybe I'm thinking of playing one more round of that video game because my mind's saying, hey, that's gonna be fun, we're gonna have fun. You know, it's seeking fulfillment in external things. Excuse me. And again, from my point of view, I think you can still use external things as long as you recognize that they are not, that's not where your salvation is found, right? And in moderation, I think, is key. Because if you can, the more time you focus on external things, video games, the party this weekend, texting your girl, scrolling through TikTok, the less time, the more you're trapped in your mind, and the less you can sort of reflect on these things and recognize them, right? It's kind of like exercising. The more time you spend doing other stuff, the less time you're going to be exercising. I don't know if this is a good example, but like, bear with me. But like, exercising is good, right? and you don't need to exercise all the time. But if you sort of do a healthy balance of external things, maybe a bit of TikTok, a bit of this, but then you exercise some, you can still have a balance where the other aspects don't control your life and you still have time for exercise. So I guess the parallel I'm drawing is you still have time to be in the now, and you can still use external things in moderation. That's what I think. I don't remember exactly what this has to say on that, but I guess we'll see. But that's the way I think. Sometimes I have trouble doing that for sure, but that's why they recommend, a lot of teachers recommend you do meditation, because it sort of forces you to be in the now, because while you're meditating, you're not watching TV, you're not scrolling, you're not, playing video games, you're not listening to music. You're just focused on your breathing, on the feelings on your skin, the sounds around you, So here's another little bit here. So don't seek to become free of desire or achieve enlightenment. Become present. Be the observer of the mind. So I skipped a whole little middle section there, but I guess I'll read it. So it says cravings are the mind seeking salvation or fulfillment in external things and in the future as a substitute for the joy of being. As long as I am my mind, I am those cravings, those needs, those wants, those attachments and aversions, and apart from them, there is no I except a mere possibility, an unfulfilled potential, a seed that is not yet sprouted. In that state, even my desire to become free or enlightened is just another craving for fulfillment or completion in the future. I should have definitely highlighted that. So don't seek to become free of desire or achieve enlightenment. Become present. Be the observer of the mind. That's good. So just as craving to play one more League of Legends match, or in my case, one more Heroes of the Storm game, match, dead game, I know, but I have fun on it. So just as that's a desire, so is the desire to become enlightened, to become free. Which, I mean, like I think we can agree that there are some desires that are better than others, right? To desire to be fit, it has positive connotations, even if it's for the wrong reasons, right? Whereas the desire to play video games, it might bring a lot less benefits in terms of everyday life. So the desire to become enlightened, that can bring a lot of benefits and can be very good for you. But you can also recognize that as a desire. You're craving, you're like, I want to be free of my thoughts. I really want to become enlightened. And you can watch the videos, which is fine. Everyone goes through that. I used to watch videos, and I think I'll probably get back into them again. But I would binge these spiritual videos because that was a desire. But it's saying, I'm putting my words here. That's fine to desire that, but don't seek become free of desire. But you're like, but I want to be free of desire. I want to be enlightenment. Don't. Seek, because that's a desire. Become present right here, right now. If you could cut your mind from the future, you don't think about the future. You don't think about the past, about your heartbreak. You're just right here, right now with me, listening to my voice, or me sitting in this chair, feeling the air in my lungs. I don't care about tomorrow. I don't care about what I did yesterday. I don't care that I wasted my whole day doing nothing. I don't care that I work tomorrow. I'm here now. I'm drinking my tea. I feel the liquid go down my throat. What else do I need? You smile to yourself. I feel good. Become present. Be the observer of the mind. And if the mind, says, hey, you work tomorrow, I can observe that thought. And yes, it's true. But does it? Do I need to do anything? My bedtime is like in half an hour. Right at the moment, is there anything that I absolutely need to do before my bedtime? My mind's saying, you gotta brush your teeth still, Ryan. Still haven't done that. Also, you gotta check the coffee machine. Did you put it on auto brew yet? You didn't do that. Oh, you gotta, I don't know. It's saying, oh, you should play one more game before bed. I'm good. I'm good right now. There's nothing. I don't need, I'm here right now. It's good. If I choose to be like, okay, maybe I will brush my teeth. Be present with that. Feel your body as you get up and you purposefully, you grab your toothpaste and your toothbrush and you just be there while you're brushing your teeth. While you brush your teeth, don't think about the next thing that I'm thirsty. I want to get a drink of water. After I brush my teeth, I gotta get a drink of water. No. Stop. Brush your teeth. Be there. After you're done, then you can get your drink of water. Why do you need to think about getting the drink of water while you're brushing your teeth? That thought is allowed. The mind. It's not bad that it thinks that thought. It's just, if you can observe that thought, like let's say it pops in front of you. If you can see it and just like brush it away, then that's fine. All right. So yeah, that was that quote. And that was chapter 1, folks. Should we continue on a bit more? Not gonna lie, my mind is saying one more match before bed. And I do need to brush my teeth. And I kinda do wanna chug some water. Let's get one good quote. And as I did with the New Earth series, let's sort of set a practice for tomorrow. I don't know what it is yet, but I can probably find one. But, let's not take it too seriously. Just one day. We don't gotta do it the whole week. Just we'll do it for one day, or at least we'll do it for the first half of the day. Excuse me. And then we can decide from there. So let's flip through. All right. So trying to find out where to start. So an increasingly heavy burden of time has been accumulating in the human mind. All individuals are suffering under this burden, but they also keep adding to it every moment whenever they ignore or deny the precious moment or reduce it to a means of getting to some future moment which only exists in the mind, never in actuality. The accumulation of time in the collective and individual human mind also holds a vast amount of residual pain from the past. I'm just sort of reading here in my head. So the next part I highlighted in the same paragraph is make the now the primary focus of your life. Whereas before you dwelt and paid brief visits to the now, have your dwelling place in the now and pay brief visits to the past and future when required. So yeah, the whole thing about using, so kind of like when we're in school and we can keep blowing it up. We want to go to school to get that fancy job, and then when we get that fancy job, we want to, make enough money to buy that house, and then when we buy that house, we want to meet that wife, and then we can start a family, and then when you meet that wife, you're waiting till you start your family. Then when you start your family, you're waiting for the kids to grow up so you can, have fun with them. Then you're waiting for, the kids to move out so you can, have your retirement, and then, and even if we zoom in, less big than that. When you're at school, you're waiting for the weekend, so you cannot be at school. And then the weekend you're waiting for you to be done your homework so you can be free of that homework so you can enjoy the weekend. You're never in the present. You're always using it. You reduce it as a means of getting to the future somewhere. The classroom, being present in the classroom, is just, let me get through this to the next. When you're doing the homework, screw homework, let me get through this damn homework, then I'm free. Then in the present moment, you're like, let me make this snack so I can sit down on the couch and watch TV. Then you're like, let me get through this, this season of Stranger Things. Love that show. Season of Stranger Things, so I can watch that other movie my friend was talking about. You're never completely in the present. So the thing about making your dwelling, it was saying, occasionally, yes, you did visit the present. You did, let's say, I don't know, you have a cold shower in the morning, you're like, you feel the goosebumps, you feel the rush of, the endorphins in your body, and you're just like, you're in the now. And you get out of the shower and you dry off, and then now you're maybe visiting the future again, or maybe you're thinking of the past, like, oh, I remember when I watched that really good movie. That was such a good movie. I hope this movie is as good as that movie. You know, you're visiting the past. You know, it's saying do the opposite. Always focus on the now. Focus. You know, you're in class and only use the past or the future occasionally when required. Like, let's say someone says, like, hey, do you remember, did you watch that movie? Then you can use the past. You think, oh yeah, I saw that movie. Oh, did you like it? Yeah, that was good. It was, it was a funny movie. I actually really enjoyed it. But you're still, see, you use the past, but then you come back to the present for that conversation, right? So the past is still useful. Or, excuse me, do you know where the bank is? You used your past experiences and you're kind of like, oh yeah, the closest bank is actually here. But you come back to the present. Or, like using the future when required. There's a party and you're like, oh, where is it? And you're like, okay, you note it down. And then you're like, okay, I gotta pick up some drinks. And then I gotta look up on my phone, you know, the fastest route to the party. So you're looking forward to the future, right? You're paying visits, but so which is fine, but then you come back to the present. So, you know, if you have to set alarms, that's fine, you can do that. Let's say you set an alarm, I'm going to go to the grocery store at 2 o'clock to get drinks for the night. And then you focus on the now, you do whatever you do, it rings. Okay, let's go to the grocery store. But then while you're at the grocery store, you're not thinking, oh, you know, let me get finished with being at the grocery store so I can be closer to sleeping, to being home, to sleeping, to going to the party, to waking up, to going to the party. No, be at the grocery store, you know, be present. Yeah. So, should we end there? Should we end there? Well, I'll have one last bit highlighted here. I think it pertains to it. So it says, what? I'll just read the whole paragraph. So the guy asks the question, the present moment is sometimes unacceptable, unpleasant, or awful. And the answer is, it is as it is. It is as it is. I don't know if you guys know that meme. Observe how the mind labels it and how this labeling process, this continuous sitting in judgment, creates pain and unhappiness. By watching the mechanics of the mind, you step out of the resistance patterns, and you can then allow the present moment to be. Excuse me. This will give you a taste of the state of inner freedom from external conditions, the state of true inner peace. Then see what happens and take action if necessary or possible. Accept and then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend, an ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. So, whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it, then act. So I think that's a really great place to end. And I think that'll be part of our practice that we're going to do for tomorrow. And you bet your ass I'm going to be doing that practice too. Swear to God. I'm going to be doing it right along with you guys. So, obviously, whatever your current situation, however your mind's labeling it, you're in it. You're there. You are literally in that situation. Your body is standing there. Whatever's happening, it's happening whether you want it to or you don't want it to. So this is why this teaching says, obviously you can't stop the world, so work with it, not against it. Even if it's unpleasant, it's miserable, accept it. This is how things are, okay? This is how things are. Now, we can act upon it. How do we want to get ourselves out of this? What can I do to, get ourselves out of this situation? Since I admittedly don't like this situation, how can I approve upon this? Let's pretend I had chosen it. I want to be here. I chose this challenge. Now let's get to work, baby. Let's get through this. For some reason, my mind keeps going to the grocery store. Because often, like when you're waiting in line at the grocery store, you're just kind of like, geez, let me get out of this line. I can't wait to get out of this line. Or if you're at a theme park or whatever, you're like, oh, let's get through this line. Let's get on the ride. Pretend you have, so as it says, accept it. I am in this line. Let's pretend I've chosen it. Okay, I've chosen, because I have chosen to be in this line. I went to the theme park. I went to buy groceries. If I wanted, I could just leave my cart and say, screw it, I'm not waiting in line, I'm going. Hell, I could steal the groceries if I wanted to steal the groceries. I could leave the theme park if I wanted to leave the theme park, but no. I have chosen to be here. Right? So I accept it. Okay, I need groceries, I need to eat. I accept this. Now let's work with it. What do we do from here? You can do the exercise, you can observe your thoughts. You can, to pass the time, maybe I'll pull out my phone. Maybe that'll make me less anxious. That's something. You're already doing better than where you were before. Where you were before is you were frustrated being in line and you were just creating, your mind was just being like, hurry up. At least now you're just like, this is fine. Let me distract myself with my phone for a bit. Again, I've said like scrolling TikTok is bad, but it's still a step, I believe. I could be wrong. I believe it's a step in the right direction because we accepted where we were and we made a choice of how to go forward. And now, whatever, and again, we made the choice to go on, let's say, on our phone, on TikTok. I don't disclaimer, I don't use TikTok. I'm just, I used to be a Facebook scroller, but I'm here TikTok so much everywhere, so I'm just assuming I'd sound like too much of a boomer if I said scrolling through Facebook, but we can say social media. But whatever, we'll use social media, sure. So you chose to be on social media, so that's where we are again. So you can accept that, as long as you don't be like, well, what else was I supposed to do? I had no choice. Like, there's nothing to do, so I had to go on for social media. No, you chose to go on social media. Accept that and then work with it. See, like I said, in that moment, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, I think as long as you're sort of choosing what you do and you're aware of it, I think it's fine. It doesn't mean you have to never use your phone and you just have to stand there. But I will say, not using your phone and just standing there, observing your thoughts, observing your mind saying, yo, you should pull out your phone. I think that is a really effective way of sort of observing the mind and helping you become present in the moment, because it's easy to become too unpresent. Is that even a word? It's easy to become unpresent when you're using social media, because your focus is no longer on, the current situation. You're like in the phone, right? So it's a good challenge to sort of, actually, maybe that's the better challenge. Well, maybe we'll do a two-part. So yeah, if you just observe, your mind for a bit and sort of stand in line there and wait, maybe observe the people around you. I think in my mind, I could be wrong, but if I was to picture like the most like enlightened person in the world, like how would he be in line? I think he would probably just be smiling, right? He would be, waiting, smiling, like observing other people. Like, I'm sure he would feel connected to other people, so like he might try to spark up a conversation with someone else if they look friendly, or he might just like observe the small things around him. He might just, close his eyes, feel the wind on him, or if he's in the grocery store, sort of just listen to the sounds and enjoy just being in that unique moment. He could pull out his phone if he wanted to, and I don't think his mind wouldn't judge him either for pulling out his phone. I think he would pull it out, and his mind might say, you pulled out your phone, but he would just, brush that thought away. Excuse me. Alright, so our challenge for tomorrow, and let's try to do this until let's say like noon or whenever your lunchtime is, and then if you want to stop, feel free to stop, but if you want to keep going, baby steps. So our challenge is excuse me, I had another burp. Hopefully you guys don't think that's too disgusting, but I don't know. Sometimes I gotta burp. Alright. So, tomorrow, if ever you get impatient or frustrated or angry with your current situation, and let's say that, not like in a conversation, right? Because sometimes it's difficult to reflect like live as things are unfolding. But let's say you had a conversation and you were or someone like did something, cut you off or whatever, or you're stuck in traffic, or afterwards sort of accept that you chose this situation. You chose to be in traffic. You chose to leave at that specific time. But even if you said, no, I was running late, it all comes down to choice, right? You chose not to double check your alarm, or you chose to not wake up early enough. So just act like you chose the moment and then move from there. So what did the book say here? It said so make your dwelling place in the now. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. So remember that. Whatever the present moment contains, traffic, good, bad, lots of work, even if it's out of your control, your boss gave you, just humor yourself. Pretend you've chosen it. Act as if you have chosen it. Accept it as if you had chosen it. Alright, I have to do something really crappy that I don't like at work. You know what? Screw it. I chose this. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then, I think, I kind of really want to add that phone one. I think, we're going to add it. So you got 2 challenges. I know you guys can do it. So, the easy one is whenever you pull your phone out of your pocket, doesn't matter if it, maybe not if you're getting a phone call, but if you get a phone call, proceed as normal. But if you get like a little vibration, like a text or something, or a notification, as soon as you catch yourself pulling your phone out of your pocket, whether you already have it open and you're answering, or you're reaching for it, or you just felt it vibrate, catch yourself and then just watch what your mind says. Observe the mind that says, I need to get this. This could be important. It might be my mom. It might be my sister. I was expecting a call. Who is it? Who's calling me? It's important. I gotta pick it up. Or even if you have no reason, you're just bored, you're like walk outside and you see other people on your phone. Observe your mind saying, everyone's on their phone. I gotta be on my phone. I'm gonna look weird if I'm not on my phone. I gotta fit in. I have nothing like worthwhile to do, so I'm gonna look kind of weird doing nothing. Pull out your phone. Pull out my phone. Believe me, I've done that. I'm sure we've all done that. But just watch that voice. You can still, don't worry, you can still pull out your phone. But watch that voice just for a little bit before you pull out your phone. Consciously pull out your phone. Don't make it an automatic reaction. Do it consciously. It vibrates a little bit. And you're just like, you move your hand down. Just breathe. Watch your mind. Watch the thoughts. Smile to yourself. And then be like, I'm going to grab my phone. And then you can grab your phone. Just try that. That's the easy part. So try to do that. And the other part is, whenever you find yourself getting annoyed, getting angry, getting mad, just accept the moment. You don't have to like it. You do not have to like the present moment. But just accept it. Say, I'm here now. I'm in this moment. Like, do I want to just run away? No. Doesn't matter why not. No. Well then, I'm here. I accept it. So let's try to do those two tomorrow. Thanks for coming along with me. We just got through chapter 1. And if you found this, I don't know if you're on the fence about this kind of video, please come along with me for the next one, which may be in like 3 months, who knows. But please come on with me for the next one. We're just scratching the surface here. I know there's a lot more really good little nuggets of goodness in store for us. And if you're just using this for ASMR in the background, well, thank you. That's what it's for. That's the main purpose. Oh, maybe not. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have an amazing day tomorrow. I'm gonna go brush my teeth and take a drink of water. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.